Support for Music Money University and the following message are brought to you by TuneCore. Do you want to take your career to the next level and start making money from your music? The good news is all you need is a digital distributor. TuneCore is dedicated to helping independent artists get their music in over 150 digital stores and streaming services in over 100 countries worldwide. And the best part is, they never take a cut of the money they collect for you. No label, no catch, no barriers to selling your music worldwide. Take control of your career and get 20% off your first upload on TuneCore by clicking the link in our show notes. Welcome to Music Money University, where you learn in-depth strategies on how real artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs earn a full-time income in the music business. I am your host, Omari, and today on our show we have John Turri. Singer-songwriter John Turri has been graced with being able to work with many talented people, such as Grammy Award winner Houghton, Lucia Parker, and multi-Emmy Award winner John Wineglass. He is a four-time finalist in Unsigned Only's songwriting competition, and this past year he has been working with composer Brian Wayy from Warner Brothers as they pursue a new EDM project. John began writing, singing, and playing guitar at the age of 18. His influences stem from Ed Sheeran, Coldplay, Marvin Gaye, and several others. John was recently added to the AWAL team as an artist, and it is indeed perfect timing as his highly anticipated debut album, Penni Rae, is set to release this coming September. The first half of the album is officially being released through AWAL August 9th, 2019, and two singles have been out the past few months. In one spectrum, John Turri's compositions provide the easy listening atmosphere of a playful love song. In another, his songs capture the raw honesty that occurs in times of grief, struggle, and change. In fact, Penni Rae is dedicated to his late mother, Penny, who tragically passed away from ALS and a rare form of dementia in 2016. It is his hope that this album will inspire listeners to take advantage of the time they have with their loved ones. Stay tuned for the first half, Rae, which comes out in a few weeks. John, welcome to Music Money University.
Hey, thank you, Omari. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's excited to finally talk with you. And I appreciate the opportunity, bro.
Absolutely. Thanks for being on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, the way we like to kick things off on our show is dive right into the revenue numbers. This is important because without numbers, you and I are just giving our opinions on something, and we want to give struggling artists out there or anyone that is trying to be full-time in the music business results. We want to give our report on our results, not just our opinions. So tell us how much you make each year or each month in your music career, in your music business, the breakdown of where the revenue is coming from, whether that be merchandise, film licensing, wherever you're getting your revenue, and which advertising methods have worked best for you to achieve this income.
Yeah, so I think first off, I just want to say, whoever's listening, I would by no means call me like the poster child of success. I would say if there's anything that I try to implement is I just try to be consistent. So I have been blessed with seeing some success and some, if you're deeming success as a monetary value, I've been blessed with the opportunity to be able to do music full time. And that is what, pays the bills. So I wear a lot of different hats. I'm passionate about a lot of different facets of music. I think some people, when they feel called to music or they want to pursue it, there's one facet they want to pursue. They want to be an artist. They want to be a writer. They want to be an instrumentalist. But I think what really drew me to music initially is that there are so many facets. And so because of that, I wear a lot of different hats. So I'm a songwriter. I will play live gigs and live shows. I'm a producer. And then I obviously make money from those songs that I write or produce that are streamed, my personal music that's streamed. I'm also a music director. So I do that for artists. And then I do that a lot in the gospel world and the church world. And then I have merchandise. And so I think, I preface this saying that like, I'm by no means somebody famous, someone viral or anything like that. So I think when you're in this stage, it's important to take advantage of the skills and the opportunities that are before your eyes. And so I feel like God has blessed me with being able to do these different things. And so through these different hats that I mentioned, I produce financially about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So that comes out to about $70,000 a year, give or take. So that's the numbers.
Cool. So out of all those, you listed a lot of them on there. I think that's important to note for musicians and artists, because sometimes they think in order to make $40,000 a year so I can eat and do whatever, then I have to have 20 million streams, and that's going to be my only source of revenue.
Oh, man, it's just not realistic, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen like that for 99+% of people who are doing music full time. They are not making their full time revenue through streaming income. Mm-hmm. So you just pointing out all those is valuable for everybody hearing this. Which of those is the breadwinner? Kind of what's the one that's making the bulk of it? What's the second place? And are there some months that like look heavier than others, or is it a consistent $5,000 a month?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. And so, just to continue to be honest, because I always feel like the underdog, and we're gonna get to that later. You know, I never think I'm like this cool artist or whatever. And so the people who are listening, that you're just like thinking about giving up. Like, I just hope, you know, as trite as it sounds, like I hope it inspires you just to keep grinding it out. But talking about how streaming alone doesn't really pay the bills. I mean, even the largest grossing tour of last year was Ed Sheeran's, and he grossed $500 million. And so that's from touring. And so that is what is paying the bills, and obviously luxuriously paying the bills, but he is not counting on streams alone, even though he's the most streamed artist. So I think if you're going to see literally the king of pop music as far as monetary success, and even he is going out and hitting the streets and grinding it out, then I think we would be fools to not do the same. And so to further answer your question that you asked, I would say the breadwinners right now are the MDing, the songwriting, and then after that it would be the streams. And so the streams kind of varies, you know. I think it's like average. So I might have a month where I make like $6,000, and then the next month it's like $3,000, stuff like that. But I mean, I just got a couple songs that are playing in retail stores and gyms in the central US. And so, I mean, I'll get royalty checks for those. If I get a song pitching opportunity, if that lands, then that'll be a lot more money. But I think, like I said, it's just about being consistent, because it can be discouraging, man, if you think one thing's going to happen. I had an opportunity to have one of my tracks be the theme song for Extra. And they were looking for a new theme song, and one of my themes made it to the final 3. And if you land a theme like that, man, like you're pretty much set. And then after like the final meeting, the execs decided they just wanted to keep the old theme. So, I mean, it was discouraging, but I think you got to approach it as like, music is not really going to be this one big thing. It can be, but I think you're more likely to hit the one big thing if you're willing to take on all the little small things.
Yeah. I want to chime in on that note about the TV. So just in case some people don't know, whenever you get your songs on TV, video games, that sort of deal, usually, and you can tell me your experience too, they give you an upfront amount, and then you also get the royalties from that. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to cut you off. Yeah, so that's how it's kind of, I've seen both. I've seen the upfront, and then I've just seen the royalties. It kind of depends on the deal. I still consider myself a small fish. So I think since I'm still kind of getting in the game and trying to be a reputable writer, I don't really care about the blows I got to take. So if the initial deals, I'm not getting 50% and it's looking like 15%, I don't really care, because I'm just trying to get in. And then when you get in, then eventually you can kind of start making those decisions. But I think you gotta, it just like, from what I've seen, how it's been working, like people that I look up to, that are in their 50s, killing it, like they just took those royalty blows. So it wasn't like they were having 50% at first. That guy Brian Wayy, he has a theme song, the end credit theme song for Teen Titans. He wrote the theme song for Judge Mathis, and he has others on like Discovery Channel and stuff. And so he's kind of been a mentor that's been kind of explaining all this to me. And so, yeah.
Got you. Yeah. So just for you guys listening out there, I mean, there's so many ways that you can get this revenue coming in. And then if you can kind of explain to them how you got on to, or got the relationships with these people, or got onto the TV shows in the first place, I think that'd be a good story to tell.
Oh yeah, that's a great question, man. Because I think when you're doing it enough, like when you're really pursuing it enough, you realize the people that are really in it, where you want to be, you realize that they can sniff somebody thirsty from miles away. So in my opinion, you're so much better off being honest from the beginning than being someone who kind of is shady. You might have like pretty quick results being shady. So if you like kiss up to somebody or whatever, you might have quick results. But I feel like if you're somebody in the music business, and once again, this is subjective, it's just what I've seen. I've seen friends who have, for lack of a better phrase, headed up the food chain a lot quicker, who were a little bit kind of unethical, and they had quick success, but then their success is short, and their fall is great, and people don't want to work with them. And so I think the talent needs to be there, the skill needs to be there. You also just need to be like a decent human, because like, if you think about it, if you are in the spot like this guy Brian is, or my friend John Wineglass, who's a composer, you didn't just get there overnight. And so you know, people see the product of the grind. They're not seeing the grind, like they're just seeing the product. And so they just want to be there. But these successful people they really know each night and each time they wanted to give up, but they decided to persevere. So why in the world would they give that to somebody who's just trying to expedite their process by being shady? So to answer your question, to kind of develop those relationships, I think you just need to be a person that's willing to just have a relationship, you know, and don't start the conversation about yourself, about like that you're a musician. Like, talk to them about their music and relate with them on their level. Because the moment somebody just feels like you're only talking to them to get something from them, it's over, man. Like, you're just done, and people don't want to work with you, and it has a domino effect. So that's what I kind of think. So for me, it was crazy, man. Like, my mom died on Mother's Day, and it was very unexpectedly. And I was, you know, just to be real, like, I was depressed, man. And so I struggled a lot, and, you know, I'm a believer, like I have faith. And so I'm not trying to project that on others. So it's just like, for me, it was tough because it was the first real trial that I went through in which like my faith was shaken. And so I needed to have an outlet creatively for that. And so I ended up making this video that you actually helped me promote. It's a tribute to my mom, and it didn't go viral, but it went proportionally viral. So if you kind of look at how many followers I have and the amount of views and shares and comments it got, it proportionally was viral, but I didn't post it for that intent. And this is actually how I got this opportunity through this guy, Brian, because it got out of my network. He saw it on Facebook, and then he literally Facebook messaged me. He was like, dude, he's like, I'm in my 50s and my mom's sick. Like, this video really hit me. By the way, I love your voice. Do you write? Let's meet up. Let's chat. So it was like, whoa. So you kind of just never really know when it's going to happen. But then again, it leads back to consistency. You just never know.
Wow. Man, to see what can happen. I mean, you're right. First of all, people do like to talk about themselves, going back to that. So whenever you just show genuine interest in others, I mean, you're just going to get further just because that's an attractive quality. Mm-hmm. Like, you being genuinely selfless is an attractive quality. And then, you know, your story about your mom, like, one, I can relate with that on the other side. My dad passed away. So anybody, sorry, yeah, appreciate it. So anybody who can just see somebody just being sincere, you know, making music about something real, not about something vain or just about garbage music. But by the way, if you guys are listening and that's the music you make, we're not hating on you.